So the Florida Policy Project was born out of the idea that so much of what we did in Tallahassee over the last 12 years of my time in the legislature was tactical and not really strategic, and really didn't know where to go for the best practices of different areas of public policy. And so the Florida Policy Project really brings out and does the deep research of looking into best practices from, frankly, around the country in different areas of public policy. About half the inmates of Florida's prison system don't read at the 6th grade level. And oftentimes it was not uncommon for me to tour prisons around the state and find 1,500 inmates and really zero education opportunities for those that are incarcerated. And so how do we provide more education opportunities and then help with the transition for when they do get out to find job placement, willing employers, and then housing. The work the Florida Policy Project does really highlights the areas that Florida could move towards, the best practices that we can implement to improve that reentry process and really focus on public safety throughout not only just the time of incarceration, but on the reentry side, and then stabilizing them. The two leading indicators of somebody's successful reentry is what kind of family life or what kind of housing are they going back to, and can they find a job? And that's why we need employers to step up with second chance hiring and really not just say we'll hire people, but proactively look to hire people that have been incarcerated and bringing them into their system. We need housing vouchers. We need abilities for people to find housing. We need apartment complexes and other housing developments to be willing to house people. That's so important. And then they need that cohesive community that will help them transition as well. So that when they don't know where to go for the next phone call, they have somebody to call that can take that call and then help them kind of deal with whatever obstacle they're dealing with. And so our criminal justice best practices report, specifically focusing on veterans, really discusses kind of what the population looks like of veterans in the prison system, but then how do we help transition them, and what services are available to them once they are leaving prison as part of the reentry process. We have a growing population of elderly in the prison system who are not digitally literate, who have oftentimes not been able to access education programs because of their length of their sentence. Oftentimes in prison, those who only have a few years left are the ones that are allowed to access the education programs. And so how are we working with and thinking about the elderly population in the state of Florida? And then once they do get released, it's often almost impossible for them to find housing because their job prospects are a lot lower.